Yo, what's up, family? Before we start the video, please leave a like, subscribe, and share to any and everyone you can, just so we can get out there a little bit more. With that being said, let's get right into it, man. So, even though it's 3 years too late, Dame Lillard has finally requested a trade from the Portland Trail Blazers. I seen this and I was way more excited than I thought it was going to be. It's just the change that Dame needs, just a change that the Trail Blazers need. They draft Scoot. To me, that's your point guard of the future without a question. Trade Dame for some pieces and some picks. You're looking good. Now, something I didn't particularly like, why he only want to go to the Heat? Like, I do understand he want to get the best chance to win, but then he also said he didn't want to go to a team that's too stacked. Dame go to the Heat, that's a stacked ass team, but like, I don't know, man. The Celtics just pulled a move off to get Porzingis. We just extended him 2 years, $60 million. That's great value to me if he stays healthy, of course. And then for the Heat to get Dame right after that is crazy. Like, letting Gabe Vincent walk would make sense. Letting Max Strus walk would make sense. And I will do a video on all the free agent signings so far. That's probably gonna come like right after this one. But it would just suck for the Celtics to improve and then the Heat to get a way bigger improvement. It'd just be crazy. But I don't want him to go to the Heat, bro. I don't want him to go to our biggest, toughest competitor. That just would be crazy. There are of course some other teams, like I've seen the 76ers, but I don't know what they would give up because they said they didn't want to give up Tyrese Maxey. So that deal would mean nothing to the Trailblazers, in my opinion. Then I seen he has deep respect for the Spurs. Like, everybody has deep respect for the Spurs, probably except for like Josh Primo or some shit. But how that would work, I don't know. Maybe they sign Brook Lopez, put him next to Wemby, trade Keldon, somebody else, and some picks for Dame. I don't know if the Trailblazers are enticed by that. But matter of fact, I'm gonna fire up the trade machine. I'm gonna see what's up with this. All right, so here we are, the trade machine. Of course, now Dame is number one. Everybody trying to get their trades off. But as far as the Heat trade, the value, of course, is not going to be equal. But the shit won't matter if that's the place where he wants to be. But I got to see who else can get this shit done, bro. I ain't even going to lie to you. So, of course, we got the Blazers, Bucks. No. All right. This is my favorite team. You might think I'm biased. But this is my reason, right? The objective behind getting Dame is to pair him with your star player. So that takes off everybody's star player, everybody that's realistically in the running for Dame. They're not trading their star player, right? So that takes them off of the asset pool that the Blazers could get, right? So the most valuable asset that the Blazers can get from a team that's trying to get Dame that can also compete. For right now, let's keep this between teams that can compete, right? Because Dame, to my knowledge, probably isn't going to go to a mediocre team that is going to be in the same or worse situation as far as going to the championship or getting a championship as the Blazers were, right? So the next thing on those championship teams is the second best player. The Celtics arguably have the second best player in Jaylen Brown, which in my mind makes him one of the highest assets for a star player, especially in this case. Because if every team is offering their second best player, the Celtics have arguably the second best player in the league. So now I will say something that would make Jaylen less valuable is that now he has 1 year on his deal. He can sign that Supermax. And the Blazers just gave Jeremy Grant $160 million. So for the Blazers perspective and for a lot of teams, a guy on a 1 year deal makes them less valuable. So I understand that. We get him Jaylen Brown. You know, we signed and trade Grant. I throw you the pick we just got from the Grizzlies. And San Antonio going to be not horrible. I think Vic adds, of course, like 5 to 10 wins. But they're still going to be pretty bad. So that second round pick, if it's not protected, that's going to be like in the high 30s too, just like we had this year. And we do this trade. I think Jaylen Brown is more valuable than Tyler Hero. So that's just me. But let's see. 76ers, the only way this works is if they include Tyrese Maxey, which I saw a report. Of course, it might not be true. But the 76ers organization said they are not trying to put Tyrese Maxey in any Dame trades. So that cuts that off here. But the 76ers would have to include Tobias Harris, which he's on a 1 year deal now, so it won't be as crazy as it was in previous years. They give them Tyrese Maxey and Tobias Harris. They can do this pretty easily, actually. If they give up Tyrese, they can do this pretty easy, but I don't see why the Blazers would do that to get another small guard when you have Scoot, Anthony Simon, Shaedon Sharpe. You need a big forward or center. Now, a guy like Bam would be perfect, but I don't think that he trade him. Cleveland Cavaliers. Nah, again, it's the small guard thing. Like, I've heard some reports of them, trying to trade Garland. Not trying to trade, but that Garland is available for trade. I still don't see that. Dame for Garland swap. Dame and Donovan with Jared Allen, Karras. They just got Max Strus. That's another shooter. Okoro, Evan Mobley. That's actually not bad, but I don't see why the Trailblazers would do that. Even though he would be the best asset they would get. Garland, Scoot, Anthony Simons. They'll probably have to trade Anthony Simons because I just don't see how that would work. The Knicks. They have Jalen Brunson. They have the pieces, I would say, to get the Blazers to talk to them. The guys like RJ Barrett, Quinn Grimes, quickly, they can even throw Jericho Sims in there, but I just don't see the fit with Dame and Jalen Brunson. The Blazers roster right now is better than the Nets roster. So I don't understand the him wanting to go to Brooklyn. Like, who is he bringing with him? What is it? So I would hope the Nets wouldn't trade Mikal for Dame, because it would literally be a worse situation than what he's in Portland right now, right? So you're not trading Mikal. The second best player on the team is Claxton, right? Let's just say you trade Claxton. Your center is Day'Ron Sharpe, Noah Clowney, or Ben Simmons, whatever you want to do, right? But that's not enough, right? They do have picks. They have they got some of their picks back. So you get this Rockets pick, which is, I think, is valuable. Suns pick doesn't really mean shit, but we'll just get it. We still got to make up the Dame contract, right? Do I give you Cam Thomas? But again, that's the small guard thing. I don't think that works. So I just don't see the Nets as a partner as far as the trade making sense for both sides. Hawks, Trey and Dame, I don't know. Trade DeJounte on a 1-year deal, the picks, maybe AJ Griffin. I don't like how Trey plays off ball. He came out of college, he was getting a lot of comparisons to Curry. If he was to move off ball like Curry is now, and I know it took time for Curry to evolve that, because he also had a guy like Draymond Green who could, set screens, pass to him, have him relocate and shit like that. Trae Young doesn't have that yet, so maybe that's what Trae Young needs in order for him to start being more comfortable with getting the ball out of his hands. But he's also a top 3 passer in his league, so you would rather him have the ball in his hands too. But maybe playing with Dame can make him go off ball a little bit. They trade DeJounte. I want to give the Blazers a center so bad, because Portland fans hate Yusuf Nurkic. Not hate, but they don't want him on the team, right? And they still have Capella, correct? But with Dame, I think Capella's value is larger, because now you have 2 guys in the pick and rolls that are throwing lobs and spoon feeding Clint Capella, really. Throw in Buffkin. Do we throw in Buffkin? No, they don't need guards. That's what I'm saying. But AJ Griffin has size, so we can do that. Throw in Jalen Johnson. What's the money like? Oh, we do need a contract. Oh, okay. DeJounte's 18, 3.7. So I say that's 4. That's 22. It's 25. Hawks don't have any. Was it Bogdanovich? Is that the contract? 18. And then they throw in a pick. Let's say top. Well, they're not gonna be top 5. So you might as well just fucking unprotect. They have Sacramento's first next year. Kevin Huerter trade. You do that. This might be this is a lot, but does this work? This works. Bogdanovich, DeJounte, AJ Griffin, Jalen Johnson, 2 firsts. That is a lot. That is a lot. But I've already heard rumblings of everybody on the Hawks roster being available. You're trading DeJounte, who's on a 1-year deal. For the Hawks' sake, that's good. For the Trailblazers, that's good, because you get to clear that cap if you don't want to keep him. Then you get AJ Griffin, a young guy you can try to build with. Jalen Johnson, who showed flashes last year, you can try to build with. Bogdanovich is the only thing, right? He's a good player. Before rebuilding a team, you might can just reroute him. So you might can do that. And then you get 2 firsts. Not great first, of course. What's crazy is that the Suns could probably actually still get him, bro. But of course, I'd rather them get him over Bradley Beal. Say you trade Ayton to the Suns, right? But the problem is, they have campaign 6.5. That's maybe all they need, bro. Like, to be honest with you. And then, like, they don't have any picks. No way I don't think they can trade this shit, bro. I really don't think. But let me just see if this works. They probably need a little bit more money. Yeah. Suns can only take back there, cut 6.6. Yeah, so they're close to it, but I don't want this shit to happen. It just looks like they could with the DeAndre Ayton contract. All right, Clippers. I don't see them taking Norman Powell back as the Trailblazers I'm talking about. They don't have any young guys. They did draft Kobe Bryant, who I loved. All right, I don't see the Blazers doing this, so don't attack me for this. But imagine Dame and imagine Dame and Anthony Edwards. They get him Cat. They somehow find a way to trade Yusuf Nurkic. Cat's only 27. That contract is large, but from the contracts that were just given out last night, it makes it seem like it's okay. Cat and Jaden is probably untouchable, to be honest with you. Like, the Wolves would be very, very reluctant to give up Jaden McDaniels. But if the Wolves were to offer this and like some picks, I know they gave 8 picks to Utah. Could they do this? If the Timberwolves offer this, I think the Blazers take this. I just don't think the Timberwolves give up Jaden. I don't think they want to give up Jaden, to be honest with you. So let's do a couple more teams. Dream scenario for the Blazers, right? Dream scenario. Pelicans are like, look, this guy's never on the court. He's off the court doing some freaky shit. We're done with him. You give up Zion for Dame. And Larry Nance. Of course, the Dame and CJ thing, I don't love to have it happen again. But with Brandon Ingram, you never know. Maybe it could be better than what it was in Portland. And then you have the team Kevin O'Connor proposed, which is not proposed, but he was, saying that the Spurs could be a dark horse team, right? Again, I don't see it because this isn't enough for Dame to go to that team and be a real contender. I think it'll be worse than what he's doing with. If he was to stay and play with this roster in Portland, they're better than the Spurs, right? So, but let's just indulge in it, right? You give up Keldon. I think this works because the Spurs have cap space, so I don't have to throw in like a salary filler or something like that. But where's Sissoko at? Where's Sissoko? I think that they want Sissoko. I probably can't trade Sissoko, but they give them Keldon and a king's ransom of picks, right? They have Charlotte's pick. I'm pretty sure that's protected. They have Toronto pick, top 6 protected. They have their own pick. You give them 3 picks for this year and like a protected pick in 2025 with just Keldon Johnson and probably one more player like a Branham, but Branham's really good for the Spurs, so I don't know. But maybe, like, as far as the trade value, it could work for both teams, but I just don't see Dame wanting to go. I don't see Dame saying, okay, yeah, I'll welcome a Spurs trade. But yeah, that's the video. I just wanted to talk about Dame, him finally requesting a trade, trying to find some dark horse teams that he can go to. It's not a lot of options, to be really honest with you, but I will be back with my free agent video, just detailing what teams have done so far and what I think they will do next. But this is Nick. Peace.